The simulacro is the practice of evacuation measure during a national or natural disaster. This is not a fake practice, but it is the real practice which is supposed to be done during a disaster, mainly in tsunami or in a big earthquake which is called terremoto in Chile. Chile is the country which is located at the end of the globe. This is a long but a thin country, and most interestingly, this country has a parallel with the mighty Pacific Ocean from north to south, and this country has a big history of earthquakes. Every day earthquakes happen in Chile, a minimum 3 times and a maximum 10 times, but most of the earthquakes are mild and people do not perceive it, but some earthquakes are perceivable. That means the people can understand that something happened, the houses shake, and since there are lot of houses which are made of the papers and hardboards, this sound is no better. That means when earthquake happen in Asia country, people are surprised, people get amazed, but here people don't care about this. The thing is that the population of Chile is so habituated with their long history of earthquakes that they never care about this. They are so habituated and they have the practice of evacuation, so they are never terrified or they are never amazed. But during a big earthquake, the ONM department, which is responsible to manage the disasters, is always careful about the people. They have their special guidance, they have their special instruction what to do during a big earthquake, which is the cause of the impending tsunami. In the year 2014, on April 1st and 2nd, there happened very big earthquakes. That is, on the 1st of April there happened that number 1 earthquake, and on the 2nd of April there happened another earthquake, and both earthquake happened in the evening, and the grade of both the earthquakes were 8.2, and fortunately or unfortunately I was present during the both earthquakes in Chile, and they happened in the city of Iquique. Iquique is the northern city of Chile, and during the earthquake I was present and I got a very amazing experience which I am going to share with you. Just after the hit of the terremoto, which is locally called terremoto, but it is the big earthquake of the grade of 8.2, there was siren. The sound of siren was coming from every point of the city, and hundreds and thousands of people were evacuating. They were evacuating from the low side to the upper side. I mean from the ocean side to the Andes mountain side to the upper side. Hundreds and thousands of people. But the most interesting thing was that nobody was crying, nobody was shouting, and nobody was terrified. Everybody was marching to the upper direction in a very cool and disciplined mood. There are policemen, there are the ambulance, and from the above there are the helicopter of the security department, which was closely monitoring the march of the people. The thing is that and it is a big question that how people were evacuating, how do they know this, where to evacuate, how to evacuate, and which way to evacuate, and this is the point of discussion. So the term simulacro is applied to the preventive measure during a tsunami or a tsunami alert or a big earthquake. So this term simulacro is very much familiar inside Chile in every city. So this simulacro is arranged by the ONEMI department, which is responsible to manage the country in a national or natural disaster. So the term simulacro is very much familiar in Chile. Every citizen of Chile knows what this simulacro is. So on the appointed day, and this day is appointed by the ONEMI department as well as from the security department. So the people of all classes, that means from school, college, employers and employees, industrialists and bankers, that means people from all professions has to participate in the simulacro process. This is an obligatory matter. It is not a matter of choice. This is obligatory. That means before the date of simulacro, all departments, all citizens are noticed and notified by the government and from other departments. When the date of simulacro is fixed, people are well notified, but they are not notified the time of the simulacro. Only the date is fixed. So the people are ready. They wait when they are going to evacuate. So during the time, there is a siren from all points of the city. This siren will continue. That means people begin to evacuate from their homes, from their offices, from wherever they are. They march very cool way, in a very disciplined way, from the downside of the city to the upside, and this march is completely guided and arranged by the security department, the policemen, the local PDI and the other departments who are related to security, even the ambulance, hospital and the officials. They manage the simulacro process. They guide, and the helicopters from the above also guide the march. And the school children, even the very small infants from the kindergartens, are also participating in the simulacro process, and the teachers, their guardians also participate, and all the people march from lower part to the upper part. Actually, it is a very amazing thing, because when people walk, they walk in a jolly way. They never get tired, they never get bored. They walk in a disciplined way. When the date of simulacro is fixed, all people are ready with a bag. In the bag, they keep water bottle, some food, some emergency medicine, or some towels which they can use during a simulacro process. So even me, when I was participating in the simulacro, I took a school bag in my bag, and I joined the process. and it was very new to me, but it is very amazing, and I enjoyed the process very much. So I, with other people, marched to the upper direction, and there is the policeman, and as it was new for me, so I did not know what to do. So I was marching. It cannot be done marching. I was walking, so I went to a point which is secured point. So I found that the policeman was there. So I waited. So all people waited for about half an hour. So when the second siren was sounding, and when this simulacro is practiced at least once a year in Chile, in every city. So after that day, I participated in many simulacros for many years. So every time this simulacro is arranged in the same way. The date is already fixed, and on the fixed day all people participate. So during a real tsunami hit or a big earthquake, people are not supposed to be afraid or to be terrified, because they know what to do, and this simulacro is of great importance to the people. Again, to get down from the upper side to the downside, and all the people were coming down to their home and to their offices where they started the march. So one thing I noticed is that the security department as well as the population were helping the people who were adults and who were disabled, and the people who were marching with the wheelchairs. That means people from all walks, from the baby to the adults to the super adults. Super adult, I mean the people who are very old. All people participated, and people were helping them very much. Simulacro, or the preventive measure, may be practiced or may be a very good lesson for the global people which country is prone to natural disaster. I mean, if any country around the globe which is prone to natural disasters like landslide, like the big earthquakes or big flood or cyclone or tsunami, may follow Chilean security department. This is a big lesson, because if people are habituated and people are well learned and well educated and well practiced this simulacro process, it is very easy to reduce the number of deaths or the destructive problems or the destruction which has already been in practice years after years, generations after generations. Another benefit of simulacro is that people become very much vigilant, and they are so much powerful, and they become so much courageous that even a big tsunami is going to happen or big natural disaster is going to happen. They don't care about this. They take it enjoyably, and they participate in the evacuation program, and they know what to do with the adults, with the neighbors, and with the other people in society. So this is a big lesson for the world people right now, to reduce the loss, to reduce the deaths, and to save the people, to save the world community. Look, in the big earthquakes of Nepal, a lot of people died, a lot of people disappeared, and there was the big destruction of houses and buildings. But if people were practice the term simulacro, it could be able, it could, the government or the citizens of Nepal could, to save themselves, could reduce their deaths and reduce their destruction. The term simulacro may be a good lesson for the global people, for us, for Chile, and for other society, for becoming vigilant, becoming courageous, and becoming strong during a real disaster. So we thank the Chilean government for offering such a big lesson in these critical days.